G-Not crypto wallet uses finger vein biometrics for secure access control. With a look like a robot hockey puck and sub-dermal near-infrared cameras, it's a nifty little device with big ambitions. I'm Joel McConvey, and on today's Biometric Update Podcast, I talk with Wes Kaplan, CEO of G-Not. So we're here to talk about the G-Not crypto wallet that uses finger vein biometrics. Very intriguing product. Can you just start by telling us a bit about G-Not and about the wallet and how to develop and where is it at in terms of progress and stuff?
Absolutely. So what we're doing at G-Not, and first of all, thanks again for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. But G-Not's a pioneering biometric technology company based in New York. We were established to create finger vein biometrics and different access control products. And what we're really doing is we're commercializing over a decade of advanced biometric hardware and AI innovations from our sister company, eTunnel, who's as you may know, a Seoul-based research and development leader in finger vein technology and biometric solutions. So what we're doing right now is we've built the world's first finger vein biometric crypto wallet. And what that is it's a cold crypto wallet that replaces vulnerable passwords and recovery phrases with secure live finger vein technology. It uses some of our patent technology, which generates private keys from your unique vascular finger vein patterns and helps ensure anti-spoofing via blood flow detection. It's really easy. It's one-touch access, less than a second. You could have the product, and we'll get deeper into this later, but you could literally dip your finger in water and it will still be able to read your vascular patterns and your unique identity. And really here is, we're doing what we're doing because we saw an opportunity where there's an opportunity to make crypto safer and Web3 more secure. And we've done this in traditional ecosystems, whether that's institutions, office buildings, enterprise PC access. And so we saw this unique opportunity to make custody safer, and we went right down that path.
Very good. Tell me more about who's on the team here.
Sure. So we have Juan Lee, who's our chairman. We have Peter Nell, who leads research and development. We have an unbelievable team of marketers. And then the most important part, or everybody's important, but an integral part of our team is our research and development team based out of Seoul. And just the work that we produce as a team and the level of effort, I couldn't be prouder to be CEO.
Very good. I noticed actually on Juan Lee's bio, it caught my eye because he was head curator of an art installation on Jeju Island, I guess, where I lived for a couple of years, and it's a rare place for people to sort of have worked and done stuff. So very cool.
Yeah, Juan is a visionary. I mean, he took Gentle Monster from where it was to a global behemoth, and he is integral in everything that we do. He helps with product design, helps with everything. He's our chairman of the board, and we work together all day, every day.
Right on. You mentioned design. One of the things about the wallet that is eye-catching about it is that it looks cool. A lot of biometric scanning devices don't look that cool. So where does product design fit into the overall business strategy for you?
Absolutely. So what we tried to create is not just something that changes the game in terms of self-custody and institutional custody, but we're designing a lifestyle brand as well. And the idea is that your user experience should be amazing. And part of that is aesthetics, right? And so in designing it was actually designed after a hockey puck. And the reason we did that was because hockey pucks, think about it, they're slapped all over the ground, they're around, right? And so what we did was we wanted to make an indestructible device. a device that can go into 120 degrees, a device that you can, come off a tennis court and scan in and send your Bitcoin or log into your computer. And so design's central to everything that we do. And frankly, the wallet's just the start. I can share with you some things that we're looking at or deeply exploring, like wearables, things such as watches, glasses, phones. And the idea is to have a connected ecosystem revolving around GNOT or token. But the token is just the utility of it, right? Of the ecosystem. The idea is to have an interconnected, secure access control in ways that work for you. So whether that's you're a trader and you're running around all the time. I need a watch. Boom. But the wallet is probably our cornerstone product, and it is an absolute. It excites us every day, and we couldn't be more excited to be launching this.
Right on. Give me a short tour of use cases, and who are your customers? Who are you sort of beyond the obvious sort of financial transactions? Who's using this in what scenarios?
Sure. So when I think about who's using this, there's a lot of different demographics. Our company at its core is a B2C company, but we also do B2B and especially B2G as well. So really, anybody who needs to custody their assets are able to do it on the retail front, right? So if you go down the ABC route, right, Alice, Bob, and Carol should all be able to access the crypto wallet. And then in terms of institutional, we view exchanges as target audiences, custody providers, market makers, anybody who needs to take things up a notch as it relates to access control. We're their go-to service provider or cold wallet company for them. And I can quickly. Do you think your viewers are familiar with cold versus hot architecture?
More or less, but we speak to a broad audience, so give us the rundown.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the TL, too long didn't read, TLDR. Cold simply means offline. So the idea is that you want to store your Bitcoin or your crypto, your Ethereum, whatever it is, in terms of your digital assets, offline and protected in a way that it can't be accessed. It's the most secure way of storing your digital assets. In terms of hot, think exchanges, think a MetaMask wallet. It's connected to the online. It's readily accessible. The difference is it's more subject to vulnerabilities in terms of hacking, spoofing, exploits. And so best practice is to keep things cold. And that's why we designed this solution. And I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to share that context, because we're always trying to share best practices with the community and keep them safer.
Well, it's a good segue to talk about fraud and the larger landscape and some of the threats that are out there. To what extent is this wallet, and you just sort of laid it out there, but to what extent is it a response to the kind of rapid evolution of fraud attacks and sophistication we're getting with stuff like, Gen AI?
Yeah, it's I like to say biometrically engineered right. And really, when we look at the current landscape of things, it's frightening, right? I think Chainalysis reported something around 3 billion stolen in 2025 alone. And I'm sure the numbers higher, closer, maybe 40 or 50. Honestly, I think that's off. But you've seen events such as that unfortunate event in Soho where somebody was held captive. And our goal is to protect our users. And we have multi-sig functionality rolling out later in 2026. But our wallet is really aimed to protect the user by using the fingerprinting technology, And finger veins, they're subsurface, right? They're immune to visual deep fakes like a face or like iris would be. It requires live blood flow and hemoglobin. And what we're using is something called P2N2, which is our unique AI infrastructure that basically while on device, so we're not leaking any information. All your information's on device, but it's checking, verifying using our sub-dermal cameras. I mean, we can get so deep into this, but we're trying to combat this craziness that is going on. I feel like every week, I think last week there was a major exchange that was hacked for like $100 million. And so you can't get to things that are offline, and you especially can't get to them without when it's secured by your vascular identity.
I don't want to get too deep under the hood, but tell me a bit more about those vascular cameras, if you can. Like, what's the array? What's the actual kind of setup inside the device that captures the biometrics?
How deep do you want to get here? All right, let me give you somewhat technical answer. So at its core, our finger vein uses near infrared light in the 600 to 1000 nm range, nanometers. And what it does is it penetrates the skin, it illuminates the finger, where a CCD camera, a charge coupled device camera, uses an optical filler to capture the absorption patterns of your deoxygenized hemoglobin. And this forms a unique subsurface vascular map that really you can't see with the individual eye, but is highly resistant to external replication. Think prosthetics, it's very anti-resistant towards replication. And then once you have that image, right, it's processed by our P2N2 AI algorithm. And that handles things such as noise removal, precise finger edge detection, and vein extraction using level set curvature analysis. I could keep going, but the idea is it's sub-dermal, right? It's lit up via these near infrared light rays, and it's using a CCD camera to lift that up. And then these templates that are these images, right? So we're taking this data, what are we doing with it? So these templates are encrypted and stored exclusively within an an EAL 6 Plus chip that's locally encrypted and resistant to physical or software attacks. And basically, in conjunction with something we like to call zero knowledge proofs, on locally hosted verification done on chain, we can verify your identity and open the wallet. So that's probably the most super technical definition or explanation I've given live. But I think it's really important for our community to understand the level of sophistication, and the secure elements that go into stuff that we build. And when we say that we put a decade worth of R&D into this, I mean, when you go and I meet with people like Sanju Lee and Dongyu Kim on our R&D team, I mean, it's an educational lesson and honestly a masterclass in biometric security.
Awesome. It's not something you see in very many products. I know GNOT intends, if your website is correct, to involve other modalities at some point, face, all of these things. However, finger vein is not something you see that often. So is this technology proprietary to you guys? I mean, obviously the one that, the piece that you're employing in the wallet is, but tell me about just finger vein technology general. How did you kind of come to this as the key piece?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So finger vein technology, as it relates to crypto, we have certainly some IP protection there in terms of patents, and almost every certification under the sun. We work with ISO and KISA certification authorities as well as regulators all over. But finger vein technology is not something that we only do those people like Hitachi or Concordium, right? But the way we do it is unique to us and patent. And I would love to tell you the secret sauce, but I think I'll leave that to our technical experts in terms of how we and to our team in terms of how we go about protecting that IP. But I can assure you that what we do is absolutely unique. Nobody else is doing it. And the way that we're doing it, and I'm dying to tell you more. I have it, but the truth is that we worked really hard to make this product, and so really the way we go about our finger vein technology and some of the AI that we put. I mean, nobody's got the P2N2 AI locally hosted chip. Nobody has that, right? And are people really looking at some of the curvature and different infrared light sensors and different patents that we have on that stuff? So that's kind of our differentiator. But finger veins exist in crypto and whatnot. We definitely have a large competitive advantage, and frankly, that's due to our subject matter expertise in the industry across different product chains and our wonderful team that we have.
Yeah, you can't give away your secret sauce, man. That's that's what makes the dish.
So, I learned a thing or two running a media company, right?
Indeed. Let's talk a bit about digital identity generally. I mean, you mentioned identity verification sort of in passing there. Do you see this as something that fits into the sort of broader evolution of digital identity? You have stuff happening now. Wallets are everywhere. You've got the EUDI wallet scheme coming online in 2026. These things are popping up all over the place. Tell me, what's your view on how this is all going down?
I love this question. I get it often in terms of how is data handled? Do you want to be the identity layer? So I think looking at different industries and different solutions, which we serve, we also service, traditional like office buildings, and different needs require different solutions, right? So we were just talking about iris and face technology, which, by the way, we already offer that. But we already offer that. We do finger. I mean, I literally have all these toys here at my desk. This is what we did with the UN. We got the finger vein. We got the wallet, right? But in terms of how that works and how it's structured and where we see ourselves playing, I think we definitely see ourselves in secure digital identity space. I think the way that we do it differs from a lot of people. We truly believe that data is paramount, and people get nervous when they go through. I don't want to call out companies, but let's just say you're at the airport, right? And you're scanning your eyes, which I always do just because it's easy and it works and you go through. But other people may not feel that way, right? And so we handle this a lot with our zero knowledge proofs and locally hosted encryption and proprietary AI. And so we definitely see ourselves being in the digital identity space. Depending on the solution, we feel it would be right or wrong to integrate. But a company like ours really, first off, every day you wake up and you're excited to do this. But the truth is, as a company like ours, we have to pick and choose our battles. We have to pick where we allocate our time. We have to decide how many projects we're going to take on. Because if we do something, we want to do it really, really well, thoroughly, and securely. And so I can't even tell you how many opportunities we turn down, but I think crypto is a great example of that. And we're doing that now. We're in the digital identity space for enterprise logon solutions or door access control. And there's so many more verticals that we're playing in. But I'm not saying that we're not trying to solve the world's issues today. And we're not trying to compete with Clear or someone of that nature. What we are trying to do is pick and choose where we enter and do an amazing job. And if it makes sense to take on another project or another layer, we're there. But in terms of us being in the digital identity space, we've arrived.
Nice. That's I think it's you're going to see it become more and more prominent as a discussion point in the next 2-3 years. So tell me, what's your vision for GNOT in say 3 years? Where do you want the company to be? Where do you think the company will be? What's happening going forward?
Love this question. So I think one of the main goals for us is to set the default standard for human verified approvals in self-custody, right? In terms of digital identity, in terms of secure access control. And so in 3 years, I hope to have significant market share in self-custody and cold wallet solutions. I expect us to have a suite of products. I expect us to be onboarded with large institutions and partnerships. I expect our ecosystem in terms of crypto to be chain agnostic with integrations with different exchanges and DApps and enterprises where we need transactional approval and access control at smaller layers and larger layers. And then lastly, I see our token kind of being at the heart of our ecosystem, helping drive value for our community. And that's where I see things.
That's certainly a global model in terms of scale ambition. I'm wondering, just as a sort of final question, does your connection with Seoul and with South Korea give you a sort of particular perspective on or into the sort of Asia Pacific market? Do you have geographic jurisdictions that you're sort of focusing on in terms of a customer base, or is this worldwide?
Yes and no. So yes, we are. It definitely gives you some international perspective and insights into the Asia landscape and Asia Pacific landscape as it relates to what we're doing. I would say our roots are from Seoul, but they're also in India. They're also in America. And we're a very decentralized and global team. So we do plan on tackling the world, but in terms of our main target markets, I think you hit the nail on the head. I would say United States is our primary, in addition to South Korea, Japan, and really Europe. I mean, really, we want to democratize this. We're not looking to be picky. Is our only caveat is we want to work with regulators. We want to work with different industries, with different with everybody. We don't want to. We're not trying to be exclusive. What we're just trying to do is make the world a more safe and secure place via our access control solutions.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that mission, and certainly you seem to be well on your way. So thank you again, Wes, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to chat.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been fun.
Awesome.
I love doing this. So anytime you can give us a call.
Cool. We'll have a great afternoon, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks again to Wes Kaplan for joining us today, and thanks to you for listening. For a video demo of the GNOT wallet, and for all your biometrics and digital identity news, be sure to visit www.biometricupdate.com.